Hello, can I have you?
Hi, can I have a half dozen donuts, please, assorted?
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, no more, please.
Thank you. All right, so now we're driving off with our 6-pack of donuts. Did you know that Canadians eat the most donuts than any other nationality, and that Tim Hortons sells 3 million donuts per day? Today, we're going away with convenience, and we're going for quality. We're going for craftsmanship, and we're going for something artisanal. We're going to Suzy Q and Mavericks in Ottawa, 2 Ottawa-born restaurants who specialize in donuts and give Canadians a higher quality donut than they would get somewhere where they prioritize convenience. So let's go, bud. Fun fact, donuts are said to be an all-American dish, and actually every first Friday of June there's a National Donut Day in America. But it actually didn't come from America. It actually stemmed from the Netherlands in the 1700s. It was a recipe that was brought into America by Dutch settlers in New Amsterdam, or now New York. The first iteration of this recipe was a fried ball of dough sweetened with cinnamon and sugar, as plain as can be. However, in the mid-1800s, Captain Hanson Gregory found a problem with his donuts that his mother would make. A deep fried ball of dough always made the center raw. So instead, he actually cut a hole in the donut so that the oil would actually envelop all of the donut, creating a nice, fully cooked donut all the way through. That shape has still remained to this day, and it is obviously the best way to cook a donut. Now, donuts are everywhere, and the only limitation that you have from a donut is just how creative you can be and how experimental you want to be with the ingredients that you use. And that is why today on Ottawa's Most Unique, we are going to 2 artisanal donut shops that were born in Ottawa and that have served the community some of the finest donuts. So without further ado, let's go, bud. Hey everyone, we're doing some donuts at Mavericks in the Bywood Market. Please take a look at this beautiful thing. This is like Ottawa's beating heart, I believe. And not only are we in the beating heart, but the beating heart also has a sweet spot. Donuts. Mavericks Donuts. A little bit about the place. Mavericks Donuts was actually opened in 2016, and ever since 2016 is that it has actually expanded to numerous cities across North America, including one in the US in Florida. That's pretty cool. So it's a nice success story for Ottawa. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the vibe. Again, we don't rate the vibe, but the people in there were extremely hospitable. They gave us some nice drinks to go with our beautiful donuts. We've got some espressos and some teas, and they offer, again, some really great donuts. Now this place, we're here at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. According to Google, they close at 5 p.m. So we're kind of like at the tail end of their service, which means that there's less choices. Ideally, I would have had a maple bacon donut as well as a vanilla sprinkle donut, because those are my top 2 favorites donuts of all time. You heard it here first, but we got some really good substitutes. We have actually chocolate coconut. Take a look at that beautiful thing. That is amazing. And we have maple dip, which is an amazing, beautiful Canadian classic, if I may say so myself. So they actually have a production kitchen in the Stittsville area where they produce for the entire Ottawa market, and they kind of distribute it all around Ottawa. Like, Bywood Market isn't one of their big shops. It only serves some donuts and some warm drinks to go alongside your donuts, but they have plans to expand it next door, as well as add more features, more items like milkshakes and other beautiful things. So this is an Ottawa staple. It's growing rapidly. People love it, and I'm here to see just how good it is. As a true Canadian, let's go with the maple dip. Wear it on my wedding finger. Let's go, bud. That is good. Super sweet. Now, you guys don't know this, but this is a little bit biased, okay? Not biased, but a little bit about me. I'm actually more of a salty guy. You know how they say sweet and salty? I'm definitely of like a salty guy. So something sweet is very intense for me, but a maple dip donut, god darn it, you can't even go wrong with this. I took 2 bites of this one. I'm gonna go ahead with this one. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna say this is my favorite one. I'll tell you why. Now, first, let's kind of dive into the texture. This is a fantastic donut because not only is it like kind of cakey in the middle, it's also crispy around the edge, which means that it's kind of perfect. That's what you want in a donut. And the sweetness is extremely well kind of put into this donut. Very maple forward, and I love it. So I think the texture is actually fantastic in this one. I think that the cakey fluffiness of it is extraordinary, and the crispiness around it gives it a nice kind of crunch even when you bite into it. Now, yeah, this is a great donut, but this, you know, we're comparing these two. This is not necessarily my favorite. I do love coconut. I love the fattiness of coconut, even though it can be sweet at the same time if you add some like sweetness to it. This is supposed to be chocolate coconut, but I don't really taste the chocolate that much. I really tried to dig into it, couldn't really taste it, but obviously I can taste the coconut. I mean, there's a thick layer of coconut on that one. So yeah, it's really good, but I do have to say for this location at Mavericks, I do love the maple dip a lot, and I will be rating it off of this one. So, understanding this, understanding that they've mastered the art of donuts and mastered the idea of putting some really high quality ingredients into this donut, I'm gonna say as a donut stands, this is a 7-8. A really great score and a fantastic donut to pair with a coffee, an espresso. But what makes this place even better is the beautiful hospitality that you will get walking into this place. And keep an eye out, because in the future, they will be expanding it to somewhere bigger where they can serve you not only donuts, but things that will blow your mind. It'll hit all of your sweet cravings and leave you happy. On to the next one. All right, everybody, we are here at Suzy Q in a beautiful, on March 10th, it's snowing, it's spring, maybe it's not, who knows, it's Ottawa Winter 2.0. But we're here at Suzy Q and we have two beautiful donuts here. We have one maple bacon and one sourdough vanilla. Maple bacon and sourdough vanilla. Doesn't that sound delicious? I know it does. So let's talk a little bit about the place. Suzy Q, where does it come from? How did it come to be? So on and so forth. Suzy Q was actually founded in 2012 in Hintonburg. So we're not in Hintonburg right now. You might be wondering, well, why is that? Why are we not at the OG place? Well, this is actually the headquarters now, believe it or not, stated on their website. So this is actually where I believe they mass produce, or not mass produce, but they produce their donuts for all their other locations. They have won the hearts of the Ottawa community because their donuts are extremely artisanal. There's a lot of creativity that goes into making these donuts. And you can tell that it's like a homemade aesthetic to it, because there's donuts that you can't find anywhere else, right? As we talked about in the intro, we don't want convenience. We want something artisanal, something where you know there's love, there's thought that goes into it. And one of the prime examples is the sourdough vanilla, which I'll be giving a try first. So, this is a really great Ottawa place, has a few locations around Ottawa, artisanal. This looks so good. Can you tell just by looking at that little hole right here? Do you see how airy that is? That's the sourdough at work. A fermented dough, when baked, will create air pockets, making it a fluffier, but also a crunchier exterior and more complex fermented flavor that comes from the sourdough. So let's just give it a shot. Simple yet delicious. Let's go, buddy. Wow. This is so good. You can really taste the sourdough in this. It really does taste like a sourdough bread, but obviously it's sweeter, it's more fluffy, but it still has all the complexities that you would want in a sourdough product. This is amazing. And what I love about this glaze is that it automatically, almost immediately melts into your mouth. So it gives you like a nice vanilla ooey gooey feeling in your mouth with a beautiful, it's contrasted really well with the sourdough complexity that is in this donut. It's so good. And it's crunchy on the outside. Oh my God, this sourdough is amazing. All right, over here we have the maple bacon, kind of going with the Canadian classic, adding some bacon on it. It does seem like it's candied bacon. And you know what? It's not that cheap kind of bacon. It's still a relatively thick slice of a bacon, which I find really awesome. Now it's supposed to be maple bacon, This doesn't seem like we went to Mavericks. It's not like the glazed maple. I'm not too sure what it is, but I guess we'll find out. So I'm gonna have a bite with all the pieces on it. Let's go, bud. Wow. That's really good. But you know what? I think I might have made a mistake by trying the sourdough first, because as soon as you taste into that sourdough donut dough, you don't want to go back to anything else. Amazing. Let's take a look at this dough as well. It's still very delicious. And what I love about the maple bacon is that you get a really good combination of everything. You get the saltiness from the bacon, evidently. And yeah, but you know, the only thing that I have to say about this maple is that it's not the glaze. It's not as sweet. I'm unsure how they do it. It could be simply boiled down maple drizzled on top, which crystallizes as it sets. Could be that. But I'm not too sure. That's just a guess at this point. But it's still really good. Now, I'm gonna say, for me personally, this is my favorite from Suzy Q. Look, what does this look like? Looks like fire or something. I don't know. Comment down below. Tell me what you think. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm gonna say this is my favorite one here, and I'm gonna give it another bite. For a donut, I'm gonna give this an 8.3. It's a fantastic donut. Complexity of the sourdough, it's vanilla. It's really simple, but also very complex. It's fluffy, it's airy, it's delicious. So that's Ottawa's Most Unique for Ottawa Donuts, artisanal donuts, where we forego convenience for craftsmanship, for artisanal love, beautiful high quality ingredients. This is what you get. Ottawa's the capital, I think, of donuts. We're ruling the world for donuts. Take care, bud.